Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to this short 5-minute video. Back in 2018 we wanted to improve the way productions deal with their waste and recycling. Back then we had the tipper trailer, which has been great for many years, but we wanted to help production companies who wanted to be a bit better in this area. So we invented the EcoPod. These are now all over the country nationwide in all of our main depots, and we've worked with local waste partners in each of our regions so that you know when you're using an EcoPod, your waste is going to the right places. Okay, let's have a closer look. So the front section is for your food. Got a ramp here that pulls down. And in here you've got your two 240 litre wheelie bins. The cages are going to put all their food waste in here, and we put a ramp in because they're very heavy when they're full and they're hard to get in otherwise. So there's a ramp there for that. Also, we ask you to put your stacked vegware in one of our pink sacks, which we can obviously provide you in there as well. So that's the front section. In the middle is the dry mixed recycling section, and in here you can put all the recycling you do at home can essentially go in here. So it's your paper, cardboard, plastic, glass. We're trying to get people to reduce their plastics because they're just harder to recycle. But they can go in there, of course. And the rear section is for your residual waste. It's the largest section at the moment, but we have made all the walls movable and removable. Idea being, as we get better at recycling, the front sections get larger and the rear section gets smaller and smaller and smaller until one day it totally disappears. So, you've given us all your waste and recycling, now we're going to show you what we do with it. The residual waste goes to a local transfer station where it's turned into refuse-derived fuel and sent onwards to a waste-to-energy plant. The dry mixed recycling goes to a local clean materials recovery facility where it's sorted and moved on to be recycled into new products. But what happens to your food and vegware waste? Let's take a closer look. The food bins are collected from our yard on a fortnightly basis. The anaerobic digestion plants we work with are all local to our depots. For example, the plant for barking is just 1 mile away. Let's go and have a look. Okay, so once we have your food, it is transported to a local AD plant. We're here today at ReFood in Barking, but if you're filming in the regions, we've got local AD plants to wherever you are, or wherever our branch is. This is Michael, he's our account manager, and he's going to talk us through the process a little bit. So Michael, when you get the food here, can you talk us through what happens next?
Of course. So the ReFood vehicle's been to your site, it's now collected the waste. In your instance, it's a bin swap service, so the vehicle will reverse up to one of these pits. The pit door will be closed, and the vehicle will let its tail lift down.
Okay.
Now once that tail lifts down, the driver will empty all the bins that he's collected from that day and proceed to put them in the hopper 4 at a time.
Okay.
All 240 litre bins, food waste grade.
Okay.
We'll then tip them bins into the pit.
Okay.
I'll show you how that works.
Okay, cool. And then afterwards these bins are cleaned?
They sure are.
Refreshed around the back?
They sure are.
So now the food is essentially dropping into some sort of cavity beneath us and then being transported up?
That's correct. So here at this facility we've got 3 enclosed pit systems, all with a 40-tonne capacity. Now the bins have been tipped into the pits, we need to get the food waste from these pits to the depacking machines. We do that through a network of screw conveyors which will transport the waste underneath the ground up to the depacking machines where we'll separate the food waste from any packaging.
Okay Michael, so now we've got our bio soup. What happens to it next?
Essentially all we're doing is heating it up to 70 Celsius just to kill off any harmful bacteria before it goes into the process. From there it will get pumped into one of 4 digesters that we have here where it will start the process of producing gas. So it can be stored in one of these tanks for up to 40 days where slowly the enzymes and the stomach bugs will slowly eat away at the organic matter. As they're doing so, they will expel methane gas. That methane gas will rise to the top and then make its way into the balloon in our storage tank.
Okay.
The food waste that's now spent will then also make its way to the storage tank to be stored, ready to go out to local farms.
Okay.
So this tank here is a mixture of what we call digestate, so the food waste has already had the gas extracted from it, and the top layer in the balloon will be what we call the raw biogas. The digestate will be taken out by tankers and taken to local farms so they can be spread on land as fertiliser.
Okay.
And the gas will now be ready to go into the purification process to go from about 62% methane gas up to more above 90% methane gas, ready to be heating people's homes.
So that goes straight from here into the national grid, into local homes?
That's correct.
So what about your vegware? At our partner's composting site, the material, which includes your vegware, is shredded to reduce its size. It is then loaded into the in-vessel system, where it takes about a week for the material to be sanitised under controlled conditions. The finished compost is used as a nutrient-rich, peat-free soil improver, helping to optimise soil health and carbon storage. So when we get your EcoPod back, we record the waste streams in each of the compartments, and we will use that data to create a report which you can then send on to Albert or any other bodies, and you will know exactly where each one of your waste streams has been, and you'll know that you've made a real difference.